Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Monday means it's Modern Monday here in Instant Deck Tech Land, and we have a super spicy list to check out today. This is Vizier Ooze combo, a really different, super unique take on Devoted Druid Vizier Remedies with some big twists thrown in. That's actually kind of the secondary combo of the deck. Comes to us from Nobi Yoshishiro, who took it to an undefeated finish in a small Japanese tournament, so congrats to Minobi on a really cool deck. A quick reminder before we break down Vizier Ooze for Modern. If you enjoy this deck and you'll want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So the Ooze in Vizier Ooze combo is Necrotic Ooze, which is one of the crazier creatures in Magic's history. 4 mana, you get a 3/4, but as long as Necrotic Ooze is on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all creatures in all graveyards. So this is the ability we're trying to abuse. We're trying to actually give our Necrotic Ooze 2 different abilities that allows Necrotic Ooze to go infinite with ourselves. So if we can get Necrotic Ooze on the battlefield and get a Morsel Hoarder and Devoted Druid in the graveyard, Necrotic Ooze is a 1-card infinite combo. So the basic plan is we can tap our Necrotic Ooze, which has Devoted Druid's mana producing ability, 4 mana, and then we can pay 1 to untap it by putting a -1/-1 counter. However, we can then use Necrotic Ooze's Morsel Hoarder ability, which is remove a -1/-1 counter to add a mana to our mana pool, to add another mana and get rid of the counter, which means we can tap it again as a Devoted Druid, untap it to Devoted Druid by putting a counter on it, remove that counter to make a mana. So basically, every time we go through that loop, we're making 2 mana, 1 from the Devoted Druid ability, 1 from the Morsel Hoarder ability. So we just go infinite mana all by ourselves with Necrotic Ooze. So we have infinite mana. Now we hear you wondering, well, how do we actually win the game? And Necrotic Ooze actually has that covered too. Not only is it infinite mana combo, it's a infinite mill combo as well. So if we can get our Una Queen of Fae in the graveyard, Necrotic Ooze will also have an ability that says you can pay X and a blue or black hybrid mana, choose a color, target opponent removes the top X cards of his or her library from the game. For each card removed this way, you get a fairy, blah, 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 blah. Basically, we can just exile our opponent's entire library in one shot. So we make like 16 mana by tapping our Necrotic Ooze as a Devoted Druid, untapping it, removing the counter to make more mana with Morsel Hoarder. After we get up to 16 mana, we use the Necrotic Ooze as a Una Queen of Fae to just one-shot exile our opponent's entire library. Good game, well played. We get a bunch of fairies, but that's not really relevant. So super, super sweet. If we're not winning on the Una Queen of Fae combo, we can always just hardcast a Walking Ballista with like a million counters on it. We can also make Necrotic Ooze into a Walking Ballista if we want to add some counters to it from the graveyard. If Walking Ballista is in the graveyard, we can use our mana 4 at a time to keep putting +1/+1 counters on our Necrotic Ooze, then remove those counters to ping our opponent to death. So it could be an infinite damage combo as well. Infinite exile, infinite damage, infinite mana, all in one with just Necrotic Ooze. Since we are already playing Devoted Druid as part of our Ooze combo, we might as well just slot in Vizier of Remedies as well as a secondary infinite combo. So as we're kind of tutoring through our library, setting things up, we can always just go infinite by actually casting our Devoted Druid, keep untapping and tapping it, no counters because of Vizier, hardcast our Walking Ballista, win that way. The rest of the deck, Fauna Shaman and Jared's Orders are our primary ways of setting up the combo, and these cards are amazing for 2 reasons. Not only do they tutor a creature to our hand, Fauna Shaman lets us discard a creature, search for a creature, put it in our hand. Jared Orders lets us tutor up 2 creatures, 1 to our graveyard, 1 to our hand, but they also both put a creature in the graveyard. So that's kind of actually beneficial to our deck. Not only can we find our Necrotic Ooze, let's say, that we want to cast, or if we're on our backup plan, we can find our Devoted Druid that we want to cast, or our Walking Ballista that we want to cast, but we're also getting pieces that we want in the graveyard for the Necrotic Ooze combo. We're discarding Morsel Hoarders. We're searching up a Morsel Hoarder, putting it in our graveyard with Jared's Order, so they do double duty with the tutoring ability. Otherwise, Lotleth Troll, Grizzly Salvage just gives us way to dump cards into our graveyard. The Lotleth Troll ability also works with our Necrotic Ooze. What doesn't? We can discard cards, put counters on it. Bigger deals, we can regenerate, so our Necrotic Ooze, if we have a Lotleth Troll in the graveyard, doesn't just die to a lightning bolt, we can just regenerate to get out of it. Grizzly Salvage also helps us find our pieces. Birds of Paradise just speeds things up, ramps us into our pieces a little bit faster. We have Abrupt Decay and Graze of Granite for a little bit of removal. Abrupt Decay, pretty obvious, just a very efficient, strong removal spell. Graze of Granite, I guess, takes advantage of all of our mana to just blow up everything. Doesn't really see a lot of play in Modern, but a cool idea for the deck. Mana base wise, Cavern of Souls is a big one. We put it on Ooze, so our key combo piece cannot be countered. We're not a tribal deck, so it's not going to be doing a lot in most situations, but that's how important it is that we get our Ooze to resolve. We'll play Cavern just to name Ooze to make sure it doesn't get countered. Kessig Wolfrun, backup way to finish the game. We make all that mana, use it targeting our Ooze, huge trampling Ooze to finish off the game. Otherwise, bunch of fetch lands, some basic lands to fetch up, some shock lands, and a couple of Twilight Mires. As far as the sideboard, pretty straightforward. Crypt Incursion, Scavenging Ooze, Graveyard Hate spells that also double as life gain spells. We can always Crypt Incursion ourselves since we get a lot of creatures in the graveyard. If we're really in a tough scenario, gain a ton of life so we don't die to burn or something. Ground Seal, just straight up Graveyard Hate. Then we also have a bunch of removal. Nature's Claim for artifacts and enchantments. Get rid of those Rest in Pieces, which would be very strong against our combo. Beast Within, kind of the same deal, except it hits other things as well. Works against Tron. Dismember for creatures. And then Lost Legacy as a way to just shut down other combo decks. Get rid of those Scape Shifts. Get rid of those Ad Nauseums, whatever it may be. And that is Vizier Ooze combo for Modern. And that's our Instant Deck Tech for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.